Hey, folks. This is another lesson in a series that aspires to teach Google Apps Script's Gmail app to beginners. In previous lessons, we've learned how to send emails, add attachments, send HTML emails with HTML signatures, how to send messages on Carbon Copy and Blind Carbon Copy, as well as how to collect all of the messages in our inbox and how to filter them based upon the subject line. We're going to resume by navigating to the Files menu, where we will add a new script file. You can call this file whatever you want to. I'm going to add the prefix of I and an underscore in order to align with the taxonomy of my directory. I do this so that if I need to sort my files, I can. I'm going to call this read underscore email underscore body. I'm going to hit enter. The focus of this video will be building upon the previous two lessons where we learned how to read the subject line of every message in our inbox and then to filter those messages based upon the subject line. Our aspiration today is to get the body of the email message. So I'm going to begin by removing the boilerplate code and typing in the word function. I'm going to be building out a function called read capital E, email, capital B, body. You can call your function whatever you want to. I'm going to add an open parentheses. This function is being created with the sole purpose of running our code. We are not going to have any input variables, so we don't need to add anything in between the parentheses. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard, space, add a set of curly brackets, hit enter twice. Add 2 slashes so that we can add a comment. Now at this time, I just want to note that I still have the boilerplate my function up here, as well as a yellow circle that indicates that my file has not been saved. We also have the unsaved changes prompt up top here. So if I hit run, it would attempt to run a function called my function. And because I don't have a function called my function, I'm going to get an error message. So in order to avoid that, I am going to save my project. You can see it has been saved to my drive. That yellow circle is gone, and now the read email body function is available to be run. We're going to begin by accessing the Gmail app library. I'm going to hit enter and tab. In order to do that, we are going to declare a variable so that we can consistently connect to Gmail app. So we're going to type out the word var, and then you can use any word you want to establish that connection. I'm going to use the word inbox. I'm going to hit space and equal, and then I'm going to hit space. I'm going to type capital G, Gmail, capital A, app, Gmail app, dot. And then this opens up a bunch of methods and functions that I can use in order to interact with Gmail app. Because I want to get all of the threads from my inbox, I'm going to use the get command. And now you can see that I get a bunch of stuff here. And I am going to get inbox threads, capital I, capital T. I'm going to open up a set of parentheses. I'm not going to be passing any arguments to this method, so I'm just going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard, and I'll be adding a semicolon. I'm going to hit enter twice, and I'm going to want to align my cursor with my comment on line 3 so that the indentation throughout my project is uniform. So I'm going to hit shift tab, and now you can see that the indentation is aligned. I'm going to add 2 slashes for another comment. The Gmail app .get inbox threads returns an array or list of Gmail thread objects. So if you just tried to log out inbox, which we've done in previous videos, you're just going to see a list of threads. So in order to engage with each thread in your inbox, you have to loop through them in order to get the subject line, get the ID, get the messages, all that type of stuff. So we are going to loop through our inbox. I'm going to hit enter and tab. I'm going to use a for loop So I'm going to open up a set of parentheses. So I typed the word for, and then I opened up parentheses so that I can establish logic. So we need a variable in order to loop. So I'm going to use the letter I. This is very common when you're using for loops. I is short for iterator, which is what we are doing with our inbox variable. So we're going to say for I space in space, and then you're going to use whatever the name is for your variable on line 4. So because I used the word inbox, I am going to type inbox there. So we have for I in inbox. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard and go to the right of the parentheses. I'm going to hit space, and I'm going to add a set of curly brackets. I'm going to hit enter twice. I'm going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and now I'm going to extract the subject line. I'm going to hit enter and space. So because I don't want every message in my inbox, I am going to create a variable so that I can get the subject line from each message so that I can declare what messages I want to extract the email body from. So we're going to use the var keyword, and we're going to hit space, and I'm going to create a variable called subject line. I'm going to set that equal to inbox square bracket I. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard. I am going to hit dot, and then I am going to say get first message subject, and I'm going to use an open parentheses. I'm going to hit the right arrow on my keyboard, and I am going to add a semicolon. This is going to result in every subject line populating into my loop. I'm going to hit enter twice. I am going to hit shift tab to align the indentation of my cursor with extract the subject line. And now I am going to add another comment, so enter 2 slashes. And then we are going to establish a conditional for the messages we want. I'm going to hit enter and tab. I'm going to use the word if, and I'm going to open up parentheses. So I know the subject line that I want to extract. So I am going to establish some logic here where I am going to use the variable on line 10, in this case, subject line. And I am going to use double equal signs. As we mentioned in the previous lesson, when you use equal sign, you are defining, you are declaring that something represents something. So the word subject line represents inbox square bracket I dot get first message subject. So when you use equal sign, it compares it. So it will see if the subject line is the same thing as what's on the other side of the double equal signs. So if you only use one equal sign, then you are effectively declaring that this line 13 subject line is equal to something, meaning it represents it rather than being compared to it. I am going to be comparing text. So I'm going to be using a single quote here. So in order for me to identify the subject line that I want, I'm going to go pick an email from my inbox. So you can do this if you want to. So you can see I have a lot of emails here. So I'm going to pull up this, this is a CSV. So I'm just going to type that in here, and I'm going to say this is a CSV. And hit the right arrow on my keyboard twice, hit space, and then I'm going to open up a set of curly brackets. And now this is going to define what happens if the subject line is equal to this is a CSV. So I'm going to hit enter once. I'm going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and I am going to declare a message variable. So I'm going to hit enter and tab, and I'm going to use the var keyword, and I'm going to say message is equal to, and then we're going to have to use our variable from the for loop. Because if we try to use subject line, it will not allow us to open up another set of Gmail app options. So check it out. If I type in subject line to use dot, I'm getting all of these like options and these functions in order to generically engage with something. When in actuality, I want to read the message from my inbox. So I'm going to use inbox square bracket I. I'm going to go to the right of it. I'm going to use dot, and now you can see I have the ability to get the ID, or get labels, or get messages, or get message count. we are going to use .get capital B body. Oh no, sorry, we're going to use get messages. And we're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard, and we're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and we are going to log the message. So we're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to do capital L logger.log, and we're going to open up a set of parentheses, and we are going to pass the message variable. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. We're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit save, and then we are going to run. So if this is the first time that you have tried using Gmail app, then you might be being asked to authorize permissions. So if so, it'll say that Google has not verified the app. It will ask if you want to continue, and then you'll go to advanced options, and you will allow this script to read your email. So the reason that it says it has such aggressive messaging is because Google has not authorized your app. So it just doesn't know what the code is doing. So it's saying, make sure you know what this code is doing. We're not doing anything malicious in here, so feel free to allow access. But of course, always be cautious about running code if you don't know what it does. So the output of our logging statement here is a Gmail message, but you can see that this is an object. We are not actually getting the content of the message. So similarly to how we had to engage with Inbox, we are going to have to loop through these messages in order to get the body of it. Well, we don't have to loop through it, but if you are using more than one email and there's more than one message, then you are going to have to do that. So for our purposes, we are going to go to the right of line 18, and we're going to hit enter twice. We're going to hit shift tab to align our cursor, and then we're going to hit shift tab to align our cursor again so that we are aligned with the comment on line 14. We're going to add 2 slashes for a comment, and we are going to loop through the message variable. I'm going to hit enter and tab. Now, let's not do the loop actually. Let's just do logger.log, and we're going to do message. Okay, no, we do have to do that. So we are going to do 2 slashes, loop through the messages, hit enter and tab, and we're going to use 4. So we're going to do another loop, and we're going to open up a set of parentheses. But we don't want to use the same variable because we are inside of a loop right now. So I is followed by J, so we'll use the letter J, and we will say for J in message. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard. Right arrow on our keyboard again, hit space, open a set of curly brackets, hit enter once, add 2 slashes for a comment, hit space, and we will log for transparency. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to do logger.log, open parentheses, message, square bracket J, dot get capital B body. We're going to open up a set of parentheses. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard, and we are going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit save, and we are going to run. So we are currently going through all of our inbox threads, and you can see that we have identified a Gmail message, and we are getting a HTML output here. So you can see that we are getting, this is a CSV, and it says, hello, this is a CSV, and I'm going to try to download it. So let's go to our inbox, and we are going to find, this is a CSV, and you can see that it says, hello, this is a CSV, and I'm going to try to download it. So we successfully extracted the body of the email, and the body of the email is structured as HTML. So when you're working with an email with HTML, you are going to get that HTML code. Now, in addition to get body, you could also use get plain body with an open parentheses, and this will log just the body outside of the HTML. So you can see that this gives you hello with the line break. This is a CSV, and I'm going to try to download it. So it really just depends on what your aspiration is when attempting to work with the body of an email. So one idea for what you might attempt to do is you might want to extract the subject line, the message, and any attachments from a particular type of email. And you might want to write it to a Google Sheet or something so that you have a log of all of these things. So what you would do is you would leverage the subject line that you are getting on line 10, the message body. So you could save this line 23 logger.log to a variable. In addition to get plain body, there's probably get attachments, right? So look at this. You could do get attachments, open parentheses, hit run. Oops, my apologies, it wasn't saved. Oh, I have an extra parentheses there. Sorry about that. So I'll run it, and we're going to give it a little bit of time here. And you can see we are getting the message and we are getting the attachment. So it looks like you're going to have to loop through the attachment again, the same way that we have to with messages. But this is just kind of a spitball idea here, right? Where it's like you loop through, you identify the email subject, you get the message, you get the attachments, you get any other data points that you want, and you can push it into a Google Sheet and have a log of this type of stuff. If you are interested in that, feel free to reach out in the comments section or to send me an email. If you would like to learn about anything else that is in this series, please check out the description in the playlist where there will be future videos and previous videos. I hope you found this helpful and that you'll check out the rest of the series.